Hi, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Danny from The Glittered Rose. You can find me under that name on Instagram and also over on Etsy if you want to follow me there. All right, today I've got a really cool art journal page to share with you. I want to share how simple and easy it is to create what I call a collage cluster and how they work really well in an art journal. So, my art journal features the cluster. But it also features a nice, simple textural background. I've also shown a really cool technique for hot foiling, which I thought of myself, which I'll share with you in this video. It's got some washi tape in the background, but it's just a really simple but effective page that you can use. For those that are new to my channel, I'm Danny, a mixed media artist in Australia. I have a passion for mixed media. I think it's a wonderful creative outlet. Everyone does it a little different. It's really up to you how you want to put things together and the different looks and techniques that you go with. Personally, I love a little bit of grunge and vintage, so that's my style. All right, let me know down below what you think of the page. Leave me a comment. I just love reading them. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Let's get into it. I've grabbed down my ephemera scrapbook and I'm just having a look at what I want to use today. So I sort my ephemera into a large paper pad. It's got lovely heavy paper in, and I just use repositional glue and glue them down. This way everything is in one place and it's easy to put things together. I would like to say that this was my idea, but it wasn't. A shout out to Juicy Christians. She's got a uh, great video on how she sorts it and what she does. And I thought that was a really good idea of how to keep my ephemera nice and sorted. And I really do like it. It's a really good solution. So now I'm just flipping through my book to try and work out how I want my cluster to go. Um, I like this piece here. I think that'll go nicely together. So as you can see, I just flip back and forth to try and decide what I want in this cluster. I might do this off camera and I'll be back when I've worked out what I want it, how I want it to look. Okay, so I've grabbed down my non-stick mat and I think I'll glue everything down onto it. Most of these ephemera pieces are ideology. I think that you don't need, anything fancy. You can print stuff off, you can collect it out of junk mail, books, whatever. But for me, I love the vintageness of ideology, so it really suits me, and it suits me to be able to buy packs and not have to worry about printing or finding the right images. It's all there. So this here is a piece of drywall. I just got a massive roll from Amazon for really cheap. So and it's already sticky, so that's sort of handy popping things down. The crow I do know is Stamperia. I just thought he looked really cool, so I had to use him. So this bit is just really trying to work out where you like things to go. that repositional glue that I popped on the back of these pieces to glue them into my book is really helpful when you're auditioning where to put things. I'm just testing to see how it'll fit, and I think that's just a little bit too wide, so I'll overlap things a bit more. In my mind, I'm imagining a rather kind of grungy background. I don't want to be too much because I want the star to be this cluster. I'm using a lot of my ephemera, so I want it to look nice. So it's just a lot of filling just to get things looking good. Before I glue them down, I will take a photo of how I like the layout, and then when I'm gluing it all down, I can use the photo as a reference so that I can get it together, put it back together correctly. I'm really not sure where I want this crow. That's looking pretty good, so I'm just going to take a photo of it and then I'll have that on my phone as I'm building it. So I'm going to use Collage Medium because some of these are really heavy, some of the cardboard. So Collage Medium sticks nicely, but it also takes away that shininess. I might also color over the images, and having the Collage Medium on the bottom, it just helps crayons or pencils to stick. All right, I'm going to glue this together and then we'll be back. Okay, so for the background on this, I want something a little bit different. So I'm not going to be doing layers of paper and things. I'm just stamping using some archival ink. I like archival because it does dry very quickly, and I'm going to be using some wet media. So I don't have the patience to heat it and hope that it doesn't dry properly. Um, so I'm going with archival. This is sort of awkward. I don't have a block big enough. Um, and I knew it wouldn't stamp perfectly, but it doesn't matter. It's just going to have a little bit of texture in the background, just to add a little bit of interest. So most of it's covered up, so I'm not worried too much. This stamp here is from Stampers Anonymous, Tim Holtz. It's Inventor 1, CMS 340. It's got a lovely clock with it as well, so. So now I'm just stamping little sections of this stamp. It's really fantastic, like it's got all different parts to the stamp that you can use. So I'm just bringing the stamp out further by stamping um, some of the little details. I don't want to go overboard. I want to leave some white space. Um, so I think I'll stop there. I'm quite excited to be working with a male image, so I'm going to lean into it and I'm going to use some very sort of blokey colours. So I'm using scorched timber and a grey hickory smoke. Couldn't think of the name. So on my non-stick mat, I really like using this because it helps um, the color bead up. I've just added a little bit of water to the mat and just dipping it in. So I'll just do this till I get lots of lovely layers of color. I look at the lovely, bright, clean art journals and I feel a little inferior at my style. But then I've got to do what I enjoy doing, and I really love vintage and grunge. So I'm just going to lean into it and do what I love doing and try not to compare myself. I think that's the biggest thing with us crafters is comparing what you do to other people. You really just got to do what appeals to you in the long run. So now I'm just using some Bandor spritz because there's some of that reddy orange in the ephemera. So I'm going to pick that out just to help everything blend. All right, I'm going to do a few layers of this and then I'll be back. No, it's a little bit difficult for the camera to pick it all up. So I got myself some hot foil gel. This is from the Crafters Workshop, TCW. And when I bought it, I didn't realize that I still needed to use a laminator. So I had a thought. Um, I need to work out how I'm going to apply this. I've decided I'm going to just have a foam pad for this gel. And I'm just applying this gel um, using the sponge dauber and just popping it through a stencil. So I'm going to grab some hot foil. I have, no joke, like a massive tub of hot foil, which I haven't been using since not really doing hot foil cards, but I would like to use it. So I thought I'd grab this gel and I had an idea. So you're supposed to put the gel on and wait for it to dry and then pop the foil on and put it through a laminator to heat up. But I thought to myself, I wonder if it is really necessary to pop it through a laminator, or could I heat up this glue enough, this gel enough using a heat gun? So we're going to test the theory. Keep your fingers crossed for me. That looks pretty good. That actually looks nice and aged. But I'm thinking this next time I might heat it up even longer and put a little bit more pressure on with my um, Princeton squeegee thingy. So just daubing some of this gel on. I actually don't mind the result in the top there. I think that looks nice and aged, like it's sort of worn off. But let's see if we can get a better result this time. Just grab my piece of foil, pop it on. While it's heating up, I'm going to try burnishing it just to put that pressure on and see if it works better this time. Going to get it nice and hot. So I would imagine a laminator would get extremely hot. So, and I think the laminator or the hot foil plate, it uses pressure along with the heat. Perfect. I love that. Look at that. And it's all stuck on really well. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, I'm going to do the same technique in the top, probably the top right, and then I'll be back. Okay, it's all looking a little much to me, so I'm grabbing out a few drops of gesso and I'm going to use my wedge thing and just paint some over it, just to push it in back into the background. You've seen me do this lots before. It's looking pretty good to me. I've got this new box set of washi tape, super cheap from Amazon. So I thought I'll pop this butterfly down just to give it a try. Sticks nicely and it's not shiny, so I do like these washi tapes. It's like a heap of them for $12. They're not, it doesn't look like you get a heap, like there's not very many meters on a roll, but by the time you've used a roll, you'll be pretty sick of it anyway. So I don't care. Pretty good deal for $12. So this is what I'm saying. You can really do mixed media on a budget. You don't need to spend a fortune. That's looking pretty good. I really like that. I'm so clever working out that foil, if I dare say so myself. Okay, so since I have covered this cluster with some collage medium, you could use clear gesso. I am just going to go over it with a pencil. This is just a Tim Holtz watercolor pencil. It doesn't need to be this. It could be whatever coloring mediums you have. I'm pretty sure a lot of things will stick to it after it's been covered with a clear gesso or collage medium. So I'm just coloring in just to add a little bit of extra detail and to highlight those boxes. I probably should have done it before I collaged on the top, but I didn't think of it, so I'm doing it now. I'm just picking out colours that I've used in the background. And I'm going to colour in his suit a little bit too. I'm going to finish colouring and doing these details and then I'll glue him down. And then I'll be back when he's all down. Okay, so I've popped down some wording and I've grabbed out a Pitt pen and I'm just tracing around it and making some lines. I'm just doing this really loosely and almost scribbly, just to add some definition between the foreground and the background. And it just also adds a little bit of interest to it. It's amazing how much difference little details like this can make. It really sort of makes it stand out from the background. Okay, so now I'm just framing the page using a crayon. You can use ink or chalk. It doesn't need to be a crayon, just something. Well, personally, I like to frame it, just finishes it. These have a great smudge effect. I love them. And then you can even get them more smudgy by wetting your finger. I really do like the distress crayons, but anything will work. Okay, let's give him a little bit of a makeover and pop some blush on him. Just a little bit. Oh, or a lot. Good thing is it wipes off quite easily. Just a little tinge. Okay, I want to age this cluster. So I'm just using a crayon and just doing a little bit of framing. And it just goes on so nicely since we popped on the collage medium. You can always use inks or something, but I'm really liking using the crayons in this way. It gives it a sort of mellow look. I love it. But again, use what you've got. And here we are, all finished. I'm going to call it done. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really nice. I really love using clusters in art journals. It's going to make my art journal a little bit chunky, which I love. But it's just a fun way to put together a spread, and being able to do it out of the art journal, you can play with it and layer it how you want and then just glue it all together. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down below what you think. Leave me a message, hit the like button and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thanks so much for watching till the end. I'm pretty chuffed with how it turned out, and I love the effect of the hot foil on the page. Alright guys, till next time. Bye for now.